Hey guys, my name is Jacob Campbell. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Georgia, and here's a little bit about me. So I grew up in a Christian home. I was saved and baptized by 5 years old. But later on in life, my parents got divorced and we fell out of church. I began to run towards the world, chasing after something to fill a void in my heart. It wasn't until coming up empty where I realized that I could not do life without Christ. I hit a point of full surrender. I ran back to the Father's arms. I've been living for Him for about a year and a half now, and I'm going hard and I'm on fire to see what He has planned for me in the future. And I'm just so thankful for the support and the community of Christian TikTokers that have lifted me and helped me become the person that I am today. And all my supporters and all my fans. I love you guys. That's it for me.
Parts to my testimony. One, my dad was never around, and it made it hard to see God as a father who was pursuing me because my earthly father wasn't. So how could a perfect God love me when the man that was right in front of me who was supposed to love me didn't? The second thing was, when I was in middle school and beginning of high school, I was struggling with an eating disorder in the midst of my uncle being involved with gangs and drugs while living with us. And so I didn't feel like I could go to my family because there was so much other stuff going on. And I felt like I had to fix myself and be perfect before I could go to God, because I thought that's what Christianity was a set of rules trying to control me and tell me I had to be perfect before I could earn a place in the church. But I saw how my sister's life was changed by the love and the power of the Lord, and I knew I was missing something because she just had this joy that I didn't. And so I finally found a community of people who wanted to know and love me and grow with me, and I understood that my Father is pursuing me and that He died for my sins.
You want to know why you can never disprove God's existence? Because He is a living God. I didn't grow up religious. For a long time, I was actually a huge skeptic of the Bible. I had lifelong struggles with severe anxiety, panic attacks, which led to depression and suicidal thoughts and paranoia. I never thought I had a chance to live a normal life. I had myself written off by the time I was 18. For a long time, I even stopped going out in public. My now wife saw my struggles and wanted to help me. So she started taking me to church. I figured, what do I have to lose at this point? I'm going to die anyways. I watched for years, wondering if these people really believed all this. Then in one of the most panic-stricken weeks of my life, and you know, when you're having these panic attacks, you feel like you're dying. Like, I feel like I get the flu, I'm choking, I'm vomiting. It's bad. I cried out to God in prayer for the first time in my life. I was overwhelmed with a warming sensation. And after that moment, all of my lifelong mental struggles were washed away. Even if you say it was a figment of my imagination, it was belief and faith in God that led to a miracle.
Hey friend, I know it's tough right now, but I want to let you know that there is hope. There was a time in my life when I was so broken. I was addicted to ice and trying to take my own life, and then somebody came along and told me that Jesus loves me. At first it's like, I don't want to hear that, but then I realized that God is real and that He really does love me. So that night I cried out to Him for help. He came and He met me where I was at in my mess. He set me free from addiction. He healed me, gave me a fresh new start. It says in Psalm 34 verse 18 that God is close to the brokenhearted and He rescues those whose spirits have been crushed. So I want to let you know, if you are feeling brokenhearted, if you're feeling isolated, you are not alone. And if Jesus can help me, He can help you. There is hope, and His name is Jesus Christ.
What's up guys, I'm Alisha, and today I'm going to be sharing my testimony. So when I was in first grade, I was diagnosed with OCD and anxiety. So basically every day of my life, I lived in constant fear of getting sick. And it stayed like that for a long, long time. In 8th grade, that's when I really discovered God's love. And I had been raised in a Christian home, but I never knew you could have like a personal heart-to-heart relationship with Him. So I cried out to Him, and even though He wasn't willing to take the struggle away, He was willing to walk through the fire with me, and He did exactly that. And even last year, when I got an eating disorder, He never failed to reach out to me, and He always reminded me of my true worth and my beauty. Right now, I am thriving, and I could not be more grateful to Him for giving me this amazing group of ladies. And as Bob and Larry say in VeggieTale, God made you special, and He loves you very much. P.S. Go follow us, and I'll drop my @ down below.
Hey, I don't know who this message is for, but it's for somebody right here, right now, today. That just because you don't have a testimony doesn't mean that you don't have a testimony. A lot of times we think, oh, I didn't battle with depression and anxiety. I didn't battle with alcohol or drugs. I didn't have a dysfunctional home. I wasn't cutting myself. I wasn't dealing with pornography, etc., etc., etc. We think, how can God use me? How can I inspire others? How can somebody relate to me when I didn't go through all of those things? Well, I'm here to tell you that that is a testimony. Growing up in a loving home, having a good church family, having a good support system, not having to deal with drugs and gangs and violence, like that is a testimony. That is something to praise and thank God for. Like, yes, that person who dealt with that, like, that's a testimony, and they can share that. But where God has placed you right here and right now, that is something to shout about, and you can inspire somebody with your story. So don't be ashamed of your testimony.